Ever feel like your furry mate is trying to tell you something? Maybe it's more than just a bark or a whine. Perhaps it's a whole conversation waiting to be understood. You know, beyond the feed, me stares and the walkie's whines. There's a deeper level of communication happening right under our noses. Dogs might not speak our language, though some reckon their woof vocabulary is pretty darn impressive. But they've got a whole communication system we need to learn. Each bark, each wag, each tilt of the head is a piece of their expressive puzzle. It's a language of subtle cues, from the twitch of a whisker to the posture of their ears. These small gestures can tell us so much about what they're feeling and thinking. Think about it. Dogs have been our companions for thousands of years. Over time, they've evolved alongside us, learning to understand our gestures, our tones, and even our emotions. They've learned to adapt to our ways, reading our moods and anticipating our needs, especially when there's a treat jar involved. Their ability to sense our feelings is almost uncanny. Isn't it only fair we return the favor and tune into their silent language? By paying attention to their signals, we can respond better to their needs and strengthen our bond. Understanding your dog's unique communication style is like cracking a secret code. Each dog has its own set of signals and behaviors that make up their personal language. It strengthens the bond, builds trust, and, let's be honest, can be pretty entertaining. Watching your dog try to communicate can be both heartwarming and hilarious. Who needs Netflix when you've got a four-legged comedian living under your roof? Their antics and attempts to communicate can provide endless entertainment. So grab a cuppa, settle in, and let's delve into the fascinating world of canine communication. There's so much to learn and appreciate about how our dogs talk to us. By the end of this, you'll be fluent in dog and ready to decipher those subtle signs your furry friend's been throwing your way. You'll see your relationship with your dog in a whole new light. We've all heard the saying, the eyes are the windows to the soul. Well, it's true for our canine companions too. Dogs, much like humans, express a myriad of emotions through their eyes. By paying close attention, we can understand their feelings and needs better. A dog's eyes can tell us a lot about what they're thinking and feeling. Whether they're happy, anxious, or curious, their eyes are a window into their world. For example, a relaxed dog will usually have soft, almond-shaped eyes. This indicates that they are comfortable and at ease in their environment. But if you notice your dog's eyes widening, showing the whites of their eyes, we call this whale eye, it could be a sign of stress or fear. This reaction often occurs when they feel threatened or are in an unfamiliar situation. They might be feeling threatened or uncomfortable with a situation. It's important to recognize this sign and try to alleviate their stress. Similarly, direct, intense staring, especially accompanied by a stiff body, is generally not a good sign in the dog world. This behavior can be a precursor to aggression or a defensive stance. It's often a challenge or a warning. If you see this, it's best to give the dog some space and avoid direct eye contact. However, soft, gentle eye contact, where your dog looks at you and then looks away, is a sign of trust and affection. This is their way of showing that they feel safe and bonded with you. Remember, just like us, dogs use their eyes to communicate. They might be trying to tell you they want to play, need some comfort, or are simply happy to be with you. So, next time your furry mate gives you that look, take a moment to really see what their eyes are trying to tell you. Understanding their gaze can deepen your bond and ensure their well-being. Ah, the wagging tail, the universal symbol of doggy joy, right? Well, not always. While a loose, happy wag usually means your dog is pleased as punch to see you, there are other tail wags that tell a different story. A slow, hesitant wag, especially with a lowered tail, can indicate anxiety or uncertainty. A tail held high and stiff, often accompanied by slow, deliberate wags, is a sign of alertness. Your dog is checking out the situation and might be feeling a bit on edge. And then there's the dreaded tail tucked between the legs, a clear sign your dog is feeling scared or stressed. So, next time you're admiring your dog's tail wagging skills, pay attention to the speed, direction, and position of the tail. It'll give you a much better understanding of their emotional state. Dogs are a chatty bunch. From playful barks to happy yips, they use a variety of sounds to communicate. But did you know that certain sounds can also be signs of distress? Whining, for example, can be a sign of anxiety, fear, or pain. If your dog is whining excessively, it's essential to figure out what's bothering them. A low growl, often considered a warning signal, should never be ignored. It's your dog's way of saying, "Back off, mate, I'm not comfortable with this." And then there's the high-pitched, almost panicked bark that often accompanies separation anxiety. It's heartbreaking to hear, but understanding the reason behind the sound is the first step to helping your furry friend feel more secure. Section 5. Body language speaks volumes. Understanding doggy posture. Just like their tails and their eyes, a dog's overall body posture can speak volumes. Observing these subtle cues can help you understand what your dog is feeling and thinking. Is your dog loose and relaxed or tense and stiff? A relaxed dog will often have a loose, wiggly body, while a tense dog might appear stiff and rigid. Are they leaning into you for comfort or trying to create distance? Dogs that lean into their owners are often seeking reassurance and comfort, while those that create distance might be feeling uneasy or threatened. A playful bow, with front legs stretched out and rear end in the air, is a clear invitation to play. This posture is a universal sign among dogs that they are in a friendly and playful mood. On the other hand, a hunched posture, with tail tucked and head lowered, indicates fear or anxiety. This is a sign that your dog is feeling threatened or scared and needs your support. If you see your dog cowering, it's crucial to remove them from the situation that's causing them distress. Cowering is a clear sign of fear and discomfort, and your dog needs to feel safe. And let's not forget about those adorable puppy dog eyes. These big expressive eyes can melt anyone's heart, but they also communicate a lot about your dog's feelings. While undeniably cute, this head tilt is often your dog's way of trying to better understand your words or actions. It's their way of saying, "I'm listening, and I'm trying to understand you." By learning to read your dog's body language, you'll be able to better understand their emotional state and respond accordingly. This will strengthen your bond and ensure your dog feels understood and loved. Section 6. Oh, the places they'll go to hide, seeking comfort and security. We all need a little space sometimes, right? Well, dogs are no different. When feeling stressed, scared, or overwhelmed, dogs often seek out safe, enclosed spaces to decompress. This could be under the bed, in a crate, or even behind the toilet. We've all been there. If your dog suddenly disappears to their safe space, it's a clear sign they need a break from whatever's causing them anxiety. Remember, forcing your dog out of their hiding spot will only increase their stress levels. Instead, give them space, speak in soothing tones, and let them come out on their own terms. Section 7. When nature calls for attention, understanding inappropriate elimination. Accidents happen, right? While we all hope our furry mates have mastered potty training, sometimes they go in the house for reasons beyond a full bladder. Inappropriate elimination can be a sign of anxiety, stress, or even a medical condition. It's essential to rule out any underlying health issues with a visit to the vet. If your dog starts having accidents after years of being house-trained, it's a sign something is amiss. Instead of scolding, try to figure out what's changed in their environment or routine that might be causing them stress. Section 8. Destructive behavior, not always a case of bad dog. We've all come home to find a chewed-up shoe or a shredded cushion and thought, bad dog. But before you unleash the wrath of the vacuum cleaner, consider that destructive behavior is often a dog's way of coping with boredom, frustration, or anxiety. Think about it. Dogs are social creatures who need mental and physical stimulation. If they're left alone for long periods without an outlet for their energy, they'll find their own ways to entertain themselves, often with less than desirable results. The key is to prevent boredom and provide plenty of enrichment opportunities. Think puzzle toys, interactive games, and plenty of exercise. Section 9. Strengthening the bond, building trust and communication. Living with a dog is a joy, a privilege, and let's be honest, a constant source of amusement. By learning to understand their subtle communication cues, we can build stronger, more meaningful bonds with our furry companions. Remember, it's all about paying attention to their eyes, their ears, their tails, their overall body language. Each wag, whine, and lick is a message waiting to be decoded. So next time your dog gives you that look, don't just shrug it off. Take a moment to listen, observe, and understand. You might be surprised at what you learn. After all, the bond between a dog and their human is a special one, built on trust, loyalty, and a whole lot of love, and maybe a few chewed-up slippers along the way.